Hey, what's up guys, it's Famous and welcome back to another commentary. Today I'm going to tell you guys a little bit of a story. Yeah, that's right. A story, finally. I know I've been holding out on these lately, and for good reason, I think. I mean, I have a bunch of stories, but you get what I'm saying. If I told you guys all my stories back to back, then I would have no stories left, and it would kind of defeat the purpose of telling you guys and kind of making it special, right? So I'm going to space these out, and not all my commentaries are going to be stories, so just keep that in mind. With that being said, I want to kind of go into kind of giving you guys a little bit of an update on my channel regarding a lot of what I'm going to be doing over the course of the summer and kind of keeping you guys in the loop. So if you want to skip this and you guys don't want to hear this and you're kind of just here for the video, go ahead and skip to the time on the screen. I will pop it up right now and go skip to that and you guys will get to the story right away. But if not, if you're sticking around, then go ahead and listen. If you're going to subscribe, stay. I highly recommend it because you will be in the loop and kind of know what I'm going for on this channel. So with that being said, just to get straight into it, my new upload schedule is going to be Monday commentary, Tuesday game videos 1 or 2, Wednesday nothing, Thursday 1 or 2 game videos again, and Friday another commentary. So Saturday and Sunday will be my breaks off. So kind of regarding on the no uploads, I could possibly make a video on those days, but it will be regarding my other project, which is kind of leads me into my other update. So for those of you who are kind of confused on the whole Flash video that I uploaded the other day for my new series that I'm going to be doing, my kind of a little bit of a project. I'm going to be working with another YouTuber by the name of Young Simba, and he kind of has this thing going, like a little bit of a gimmick, where he is the Flash on his channel. And so I thought, I'd capitalize on it and we'd kind of collaborate and make something great happen and kind of come out of our creative ideas. So to jump right into this story, I remember at the time I was 4 years old. So you can kind of understand that I was a little bit of a child, right? And by a little bit, I mean I was a fucking child. I was 4 years old, for God's sake, come on. At the time, I lived in a gated community with my father. It was deemed safe, right? Air quotes. We had a centralized pool area and a recreational center, so kids can kind of go there during the day and kind of play around during the summer. But through that whole kind of meeting up in the recreational center, I created a bunch of friends in that community. Now, me being 4 years old, we kind of did stupid shit. If I remember correctly, I had like a group of 3 or 4 friends. So the group consisted of 4 people, and I remember it was me, this kid named Alex, and this kid named Jacob, and then I believe Jacob's friend, I don't know, some kid, whatever the fuck the kid's name was. We would kind of run around the gated community, and we'd ride around kind of chasing the FedEx cars and the UPS cars that would kind of roll through, kind of dropping off mail and shit inside the community. And it was funny because we'd all be on like our little bikes or scooters, kind of chasing these cars and jumping on the back of them and then jumping off because, fuck it, what else are we gonna do? But Jacob got the bright idea to throw a rock at a window. For some reason, he's like, bro, let's throw a rock at this window. I don't think anyone's home. And I'm like, okay, well, I mean, I don't want to get in trouble. What if the window breaks? He's like, okay, how about we all throw a rock and see if it breaks, and whoever breaks it loses. Yeah, I was really hesitant at first. We were kind of rolling towards this house, and I remember we were all on our little scooters, and we were kind of rolling up to this house, and he swore no one was home. And by the looks of it, no one was home, and so we were like, okay, fuck it. Let's throw rocks at this house for no fucking reason. And he picked a specific window, and it was like the front window next to the door, so it was like the door in the middle of the house, and then the garage on the right side, and then on the left side there was like a window looking into the living room, and it looked like no one was home. So of course all the other kids was like fuck it, and they peer pressured me into kind of joining their little charade they had going on here. And I remember Jacob threw the first rock, and so he threw it at the window, and he didn't really chuck it that hard. So I kind of looked at him like, okay, well, if he's not going to chuck it that hard, I'm not going to chuck it that hard. And so I'm last, of course. And I remember they're like, come on, man. Don't be like that, man. Come on. Don't be a scaredy cat. I remember, like being 4 years old, we didn't really cuss at each other. We'd kind of create stupid-ass names. He was like, don't be a chicken, bro. And I remember I grabbed this rock, and I was like, okay, fine. I'll throw the rock. And so it was one of those. It was a nice, little, decently heavy rock where, it was one of those where you couldn't really like grip around the whole thing. Like you couldn't close your hand on it, but like it would leave a little bit of space. And I remember I was thinking to myself, I was like, fuck Dom, you don't want to do this. You're gonna get in trouble. You're gonna get your ass whooped by your father. And I was like, fuck. I looked at the rock and then I looked at the kids. And they're like, come on, man, let's go. And I looked at the rock again and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. And so I chucked it and it hit the window and bounced right off. And it was like a sudden like, thank God that nothing happened. And so about a week goes by and nothing comes back to me and I'm kind of in the clear. So we pull up to the house that we abused earlier, and here's an older gentleman. I think he was Mexican. He looked Hispanic, right, of Hispanic descent, and he seemed very pissed. And we kind of were like, what the fuck? And we're all looking at each other like, what the hell? Let's go check it out. So we're like riding by, kind of looking at him, and he's like sitting there yelling at his wife through the broken window. And I repeat, broken window. And I looked at the window, and it was the same window that we all threw rocks at. And so we all looked at each other like, what the fuck? I don't really remember what they said to me, what the other kids said to me, but all I remember from that whole time was, like, I was thinking, I didn't break that window. I know for damn sure we didn't break that window. What the fuck? And so that guy was like screaming at his wife and kind of like, what the fuck? Now I have to pay for this shit. And he's all looking around and he sees the group of kids kind of like strolling on slow as fuck, like right by his house. He comes over to us and he's like, hey, do you guys know who did this? Or, you know, have you like seen anyone that might have done this? All of us kind of looking at each other like we kind of just got stuck and we're like, oh fuck, he caught us kind of thing. And I remember in this split fucking second, I looked at Jacob and Jacob looked at me and he was like, oh, Dominic did it.
What you say? That you only meant well, cause you did. What you say? That it's all for the best.
And I was like, what the fuck? And it was like, oh, and the guy fucking looked at me, he was like, did you do this in my fucking window? And I was like, what? I was like, no, I didn't do that. And he was like, well, your friends say you did. I was like, I didn't. I was like, Alex. And I looked at the other kid that I don't remember his name now. But I looked at him and I was like, I didn't do that. Did you guys see me do that? And they're like, yeah, bro, you did that. And I'm like, what the fuck? He's like, take me to your parents right now. Like, fine. Okay, follow me. And so he gets in he has like a big ass yellow, I remember it was a big yellow, it was either a Hummer or like a pickup truck. But it was like a very thick, bulky truck. But it was big and yellow, right? He was definitely compensating for something. I don't know what it was, but that guy was a dick. And so he started following us, and me and my buddies, our former buddies, were on our little bikes. And so I'm kind of like, we're riding slowly down the street. And keep in mind, this gated community is not that big. So his house was kind of like down the street from my house. And so we were kind of riding. And I remember we fucking cut into the alley really quick. And so we were driving through this alley. He was chasing us. Like, he was hella fucking turning. And we were trying to, like, dodge him. So we'd cut through houses and cut through alleys again. And he'd still find us. I don't even know how. And I remember I ended up ditching my bike. And I fucking ran to my house. And I couldn't find him, right? And I lost him. And I just kind of walked in. My dad was like, oh, hey, Dom, whatever, you know, blah, 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 love you. I'm going to be in my room. And so I went into my room and kind of sat in there. And I was like, fuck, like, holy shit. And I remember I walked in there, like, grabbing my head. And I was like, holy shit. What the fuck? Like, what's going to happen right now? Like, is he going to find me? Is he going to... You know, I couldn't really hold out for too long. And so I remember I sat there for a good, like, 10 minutes. And then I hear my doorbell ring. I'm like, fuck. He found me.